some protests have taken place. And protests of all shapes and sizes, of all viewpoints, various demands.
All across the country.
All across the country. Yeah. From, medal immersion in the holy river Ganga in Haridwar, to protesters, settling their camp out at Jantar Mantar.
Yes.
We've seen so much. The farmers, the farm laws, so long, more than a year long protest.
Well, there have been lots of them, yeah.
Various. Yeah. Two
but now?
Water guns in front of the Kerala Secretariat with lots of, karyakartas of various parties in their munds. All of that we've seen. But today was a protesters' day out. What protest do you want to start with first, Pankaj?
Well, I will start in the chronological order, going from north to south, starting with Maharashtra, Kolhapur. Now, Kabir, this is again something that one would wonder that what perils would social media bring at our doorsteps. And this particular case of protests in Kolhapur is a classic example how the social fabric, I don't want to use that communal word here, but the thing is, I used it already. The thing is, we have to have a grip somewhere. We have to have a handle somewhere where we can actually put down and differentiate between what is right and what is wrong.
The line between social fabric, which in essence means social reality, and social media, that line is thinning. Now, a blurred line can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. Seems like it's a bad thing in this particular context. Let's quickly take the viewers, as to what's happening in Kolhapur. See, as you can tell by the visuals, tension has gripped Kolhapur over Aurangzeb WhatsApp status, which means it essentially is a status, it's a profile picture, and security has been beefed up as more and more people started using Tipu Sultan and Aurangzeb's profile picture on their WhatsApp display pictures, on their WhatsApp status. Now it's the government's responsibility to maintain law and order in the state. I also appeal to the public for peace and calm. Police investigation is underway and action will be taken against those found guilty. This coming from the Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Eknath Shinde. So even as the Hindu outfit stepped out, they said they demand a bandh, which was supposed to happen today. That bandh, I'm learning, did not go as planned. It wasn't as successful, which is why a lot of people started partaking in vandalism as well. So the police had to resort to a lathi charge. Also, Pankaj, take a look at these visuals that we have going for all the viewers. This is the amount of vandalism that happened, and the police has had to resort to a lathi charge. I'm learning the entire commotion and chaos erupted because the bandh that the Hindu organizations had called for did not really go as per plan. And Devendra Fadnavis's latest reaction as well, when we heard him say that Aurangzeb ki औलादें यहाँ पैदा हो गई हैं, Aurangzeb की औलादों ने यहाँ पे उनकी तस्वीर को WhatsApp पे डाला है. Isn't the Chief Minister's, the Deputy Chief Minister, the Chief Minister's position, it holds sanctity, doesn't it? Giving more fuel into this communal outset of Hindu versus Muslim, how is that going to help? I know the elections are right around the corner, and this is a card that the Hindutva-based party has played time and again. But on the ground, take a look at what's happening. Complete apathy, people getting hit.
Right.
आप बता सकते हैं इन तस्वीरों को देखकर कौन हिंदू है कौन मुसलमान है? I just see humans getting beat with a lathi.
And that's, again, we were talking about that thin grey line, Kabir. This is where politicians thrive. Now, we heard, these politicians, again, irrespective of the state and their own affiliations. But look at these visuals. This is 21st century India, right in the state of Maharashtra. Obviously, whose capital is Mumbai, known for its progressive ways.
It's the financial capital. It's a city that never sleeps.
City that never sleeps. And here we have, in broad daylight, police are beating the protesters. So on what? On a protest that did not go as per plan, and the protest was against WhatsApp status. If this is the state of the affair, Kabir, let me also quickly mention here, as I was going through the details of the story. Let's go back to March 28th, 29th of this year, when Supreme Court said that hate speeches will go away when politicians stop using religion in politics. Supreme Court said this, and they gave examples of how Jawaharlal Nehru and Atal Bihari Vajpayee, their speeches were very far away from any religious overtone. And now This particular, the sound bites that we played, first of all, their focus should definitely be on maintaining law and order situation. But this whole scenario, I'm telling you, galvanizing such thousands of youth there, youngsters of Kolhapur, facing a police ki lathi, they wouldn't have all those flags that you see. They wouldn't have gathered here without the tacit support of a local politician. Now politicians are using again religion, and what we
Pankaj, nobody has that kind of time.
Nobody
Why
has that
would
kind
you
of time.
step out in this blistering heat
Exactly
for
to
something
face-
that doesn't affect you as per much?
Well, that can be, again, faith is something that cuts across that limits also. But having said that, why would, law and order be held ransom over, political and religious issues? I mean, that is something, despite that, that's why I mentioned this hate speech concept. Someone would definitely make, whether it comes to us or not, that's a different thing. But then the way things are spoken here.
How
that
do you
actually-
mobilize? How do you
How do you
mobilize a
mobilize?
young
And that's what I'm
crowd without
saying.
spewing hate?
And
I
that
think
is
that's
part
the
of hate
blueprint
speech.
that everybody is already, they know it works. And I understand that, in a country like India, religion can't be
Ignored.
devoid of other political realms. It can't be ignored at all. And
Right.
when we're talking about that, Tipu Sultan or Aurangzeb, that particular region, Maharashtra, Karnataka, the 2024 elections, let's look at it under the political lens. How important is this narrative for the BJP? How important is this narrative for the opposition in the state
Right.
in the run-up to the 2024 elections? How sensitive is the Tipu and Aurangzeb as personalities, as historical figures in this particular political scenario?
Well, barring the historical aspect of it, Kabir, it depends from person to person. If you ask me, for me, the situation or the requirement is not as such that my day-to-day affair won't go properly if I don't attend to, these historical figures. My point of contention is, if people are being misled, who would tell them that they are being misled? Because obviously, for some, these things might get, bread and butter on their table. But for others, people like you and me, Kabir, I can safely say, in a cutthroat competition like today's, you have to perform based on your skills and caliber, and not on the verses that you remember. If you are a priest, fine. If you are a representative of a mosque, fine. You can go and go for that particular job. But as far as the rest of the people are concerned, and half of them who are running around there, well, it looks like they are just part of and parcel of the society in and around in Kolhapur. And suddenly, this barrage of lathis that started coming on them, obviously they would be clueless. Why is this happening? But the question is, they were part of such protest which had no sort of basis altogether.
Well, certainly. Those are the visuals coming from Kolhapur, where the Aurangzeb's WhatsApp status has created this particular furor. You can see the police resorting to a lathi charge, and the number of people is also not a mere 100, 150. You've got more than at least 200 people, 250 people that got together at this particular juncture on the roads. There were chants and slogans. How will this benefit the BJP? How will this benefit the opposition parties? Because apparently it seems like this is quite literally political at its foundation. And let's not forget, 2024 elections are right around the corner. Maharashtra's seat sharing formula. What has the Congress done in Maharashtra? What is the NCP's role in Maharashtra? What has the BJP's alliance and the structural changes, the MVA government, and whatever happened after that vis-a-vis the Shiv Sena factions coming into play? It's a pot boiler. Maharashtra certainly is a pot boiler. What's going to happen next is anybody's guess at the moment. But it's safe to say that Tipu Sultan and Aurangzeb are historical figures that aren't going anywhere anytime soon.
Well, not exactly, Kabir, not exactly. And they might be removed from the textbooks, but the mere mention of them or the support to them is going to take the political heat at least a few notches above. And it's not just about Maharashtra again, neighboring Karnataka too. When you talk
Absolutely.
about Tipu Sultan, we just had elections there. Tipu Sultan was somehow being touted as one of the issues in the election. So was
statue
for-
politics, Bombay, Karnataka. Tipu Sultan always,
Yes.
a significant, issue,
Exactly.
a point of tussle
My-
in Bombay, Karnataka.
For those who are watching us, let me make it very clear if they if they forgot or tend to forget. Both Tipu Sultan, statue politics, and hijab. All the political parties. I am not naming or sidelining one political party. All the political parties said that they were non-issues for the election, but they do it right before the election. They would say it's a non-issue. Why? Because they try to be projecting a secular image, so that more and more votes are being given to them. But throughout the year, 5 years of their tenure, when these issues happen, I remember 2022 it was, Kabir, when hijab politics and hijab
Absolutely
was
right.
at its peak. That issue which started from one school where a few boys were chasing a girl in burqa, I mean, that reached Supreme Court. And the
It
whole
reached.
media...
Zawahiri came out in support of that girl.
Exactly, I mean, global...
Lashkar-e-Taiba's, chieftain.
I mean, that is-
it reached there. So the communal aspect here and how sensitive this is. You're right. We shouldn't be using that word communal, but let's face it. I mean,
Oh, that's
what is this?
exactly.
It is exactly that. And again, to the viewers out there, people say that the word Godi media is a word that is, it is sprung about everywhere. Who has the freedom of saying what they can, what they shouldn't say? Well, you've got two people sticking their necks out and telling you categorically that this shouldn't be happening when it is, and it is clearly political. So for people out there, I mean, if there is a political conscience that still exists, they would understand.